Hey guys, I'm here today with another Boston Basics video. So the last one that I did was more about the morning of the race, about getting to the start line and your bags and the buses and all that. So if you haven't watched that one yet, I highly recommend you check that one out. I think it has some things that are really helpful. They were really helpful for a lot of people have commented, and just stuff that I wish that I had known last year. So I think that you will get a lot out of that one if you haven't seen that one yet. This one today, I'm going to talk about the weekend really before the race. So getting to the Expo and just some things to do surrounding the Expo and really leading up to Monday morning before the race. So the first thing I want to talk about is something that I think is absolutely amazing, and I wish that every single city had. It is a bus. It is called the BAA Express. And I will put the link in the comments below for this, but this was so helpful. It is a free bus. If you are flying into the airport, if you're flying into Logan, which is what I did. I know some people drive, and there's all different ways that people are getting to Boston. But for me, I flew, and I think a lot of other people are flying as well. The Boston, it is called the BAA Express. It will pick you up in any of the terminals. I think it runs about every 30 minutes, and it is free, which is awesome. Not many things in life are free. It's a free bus. It will drop you off in one of two places. It will drop you off either on Boylston Street, right here in front of the Prudential Center, which, just kind of for getting your bearings, right here is the Heinz Convention Center. That's where the Expo is. Then down here is the finish line. This is Copley Square. A lot of hotels, like this is the Westin Copley where I've stayed. So there's a lot of hotels here. So the BAA Express will drop you off either here in front of the Prudential Center or over here. You can kind of see it says BAA Logan Express. It will drop you off in one of those two places for free. It is amazing. I highly recommend it. Like I said, I wish every city had one of those. So that is my first tip, is if you are flying in and you are looking for a very easy way to get to the Back Bay area, if you're staying anywhere near the finish line, I highly recommend the BAA Express. If you're not, the T is also a great way to go. You can buy a pass for the whole weekend, I believe. We only used the T once last year, so I'm not an expert on that. But I know that a lot of people recommend it, and there is a Heinz Convention Center stop on the Green Line, so it will drop you off right there by where the Expo is. So for the Expo itself, you will go through security, so be prepared to wait in a little bit of a line. They'll check your bags. I believe there's metal detectors, and then be prepared to wait for a little bit. We waited, it wasn't that long, maybe 5-10 minutes, because they can only let so many people in at a time. And so we just kind of waited in a big pack, and then they opened the doors and let more people go through. And so we were able to walk in. And the first thing that you'll do is they will direct you upstairs to where you will go get your packet. And it is really helpful if you know your number. So if you don't know your bib number yet, you can log into Athletes Village. For 2024, it is already up now. You can log in and you'll get your number. And so then you will find the little booth that has the range that your number is in, and they'll give you your packet. You need to make sure that you bring your photo ID. That's really important. And you also need to make sure that you have the digital pass, and the BAA will email that to you within like 1 or 2 days out, like very close to the race. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you check your email. You will need your photo ID and that digital pass. You will show them to that. They will give you your bag. It will have your bib. It will have your shirt. It will have some stickers, some other goodies in there, as well as the bags that you'll need for race morning if you're doing gear check or bringing anything with you. And those are the 2 bags that I go into more detail about in the previous Boston Basics video. So if you haven't watched that one, be sure to check that out. That is the stuff that you will get. And then after that, they will direct you over to the other side where there's a separate room. And this is the room that has all the stuff. It has photo ops. It has like big walls with everybody's names. It's got Adidas has a store. It just has all kinds of things. It has some vendors. I will say that I did not buy anything here because the lines were just so long. So we did go around and take some pictures, and it was fun and it was a cool experience, but the lines were just too long. I didn't want to wait in the lines, and we were getting ready to go to a course tour, which I'll mention in just a little bit, so we didn't have a whole lot of time. However, last year in Copley Square, they had FanFest. This year, Copley Square is under construction, so FanFest is going to be at a different location. I'm not sure if they will do that again. So if they do, like they did last year, Adidas will have a pop-up shop set up near FanFest, and it will have a lot of the same things, and the lines will not be as long. So that's where I got my BAA mug. This is one of my favorite mugs to drink out of. I got this just at the pop-up shop at FanFest, as well as Spike for the kids. So those were two of my favorite things that I got there at the Adidas pop-up shop and FanFest, and didn't have to wait in nearly as long of a line. So after you go through that room, then there's also a separate room that has the other vendors. And just to kind of give you a heads up, there are some things that are related to running, like Hyper Ice, but then there's also quite a few that were not related to running, like gutters and things like that. So just don't have real high expectations to buy a lot of running stuff at the expo there, because it's a very mixed bag. Also, I recommend checking the expo schedule, which is posted online as well, because they have some really neat Q&A panels, just a lot of fun things going on. I'm really excited about this year. Some of the ones on Saturday, Meet the US Pros, Meet the Champions, the new US Olympians panel. So definitely check out the expo schedule there if you are interested in some of those and just seeing some of those big running icons. They will be there at the expo. Also, I recommend checking out some of the other stores, especially on Newberry. There's a lot of great stores that have awesome stuff that I personally liked even better than the Adidas stuff. So like Rabbit, Tracksmith, Asics, Nike, all of those had gear that was specifically related to Boston last year. And I will just recommend, this is something that I learned the hard way, is if you like it, buy it. I definitely recommend checking out those shops on Newberry. There's also some on Boylston too. There's a Marathon Sports store. There's just a lot of stores that have really cute things that you won't see online, and they only make for that weekend. And then once they're gone, that's it. So like I looked online and hunted everywhere trying to find the Asics top and could not, because it's just specially made for that weekend, which is kind of cool, but at the same time, kind of sad if you're one of the ones that miss out. So if you go to the Asics store and you see a purple Boston Marathon women's top and they have it in a size small, please leave one for me. Just one. That's all I need, because I will be going there as soon as my plane lands on Saturday. Also, if you're looking for other things to do, there are a lot of shakeout runs. They will not be listed on the BAA website or any of those official schedules, because they are set up by usually the running stores, or like the running stores in conjunction with some influencers will do things. So like I would recommend checking out Heartbreak. They're doing some things in conjunction with Nike. Last year, Nike did a really awesome Q&A. I haven't seen anything about it this year, so I don't know if they're doing it again, but just keep checking is my recommendation. I just kind of every day was checking. I checked Eventbrite and just checked the different stores. Rabbit is doing a shakeout. I know Lululemon's doing a shakeout. So just if there's any influencers that you follow or any of those shops around there, just be checking, because they will have shakeout runs and book signings and Q&As, and just a lot of awesome stuff. So you just have to work for it and check. They will not be on the BAA website because they are not official BAA events. Also, if you are somebody who would like to see the course the weekend before Monday morning, last year I did Marathon Tours, did a course tour. They do one on Saturday afternoon and one on Sunday morning, and it was $40. And I loved it. For me as a first timer, it was just really helpful to be able to see it with my own eyes. And one of my favorite things was they drive up to Hopkinton and you have about maybe 15 minutes to just kind of walk around. And that was really cool to be able to see some of the statues and get a picture with the "It All Starts Here" sign in Hopkinton. That was really special, and definitely didn't have time to do that on Monday morning, so it was fun to get to do that. So that's through Marathon Tours. It's $40, and you can book that through their website. I'll put the link for that in the comments below as well. Lastly, 2 things that I forgot to mention in my previous video that I have seen come up a lot as questions in the Boston group that I am in. One is there are no pacers for the Boston Marathon. And I think the logic behind that is you are placed in very specific waves and corrals with people who qualified in the same time as you, like within minutes. So the ideal scenario is that everybody is kind of pacing everybody because you're all in near same fitness. So there are no pacers. And the other thing is you can move back waves and corrals, but you cannot move forward. So a couple people have said like, hey, I've gotten injured. I know I qualified with a 3:30, but I'm probably going to be like a 4-hour marathon this time. You can move back. So you do not have to start with the corral that you are supposed to be in if you're nervous about that, but you cannot go forward. So if you have a friend who's in corral 1 and you're in 6 and you want to be with your friend can move back with you, but you cannot move forward. And that's just, again, to protect the runners who are going to be going at about the same pace, just to kind of keep things flowing, because it is really packed. The streets are really narrow. There's a lot of people. So that's just an effort to keep things moving as smoothly as possible, is to place runners who are going to be running at similar paces together. So that's the logic behind that. Last thing is, if you have not already downloaded the BAA app, it is usually available about a week or 2 before the race. So it is available right now for 2024. That is a great resource. It has tons of stuff on there. It also has tracking. So all of your friends, family members who want to follow along with you on race morning, they can track you. That was really cool last year afterwards to just hear from so many different people who said, I was watching you, I was tracking you. So that was really encouraging. And every single time I stepped over a timing mat, I kind of just like waved to everybody like, there you go, there's another check-in so you guys can see how I'm doing. So I definitely recommend downloading the app for yourself, but then also encouraging friends and family members to download it as well. So I hope that this has been helpful. I plan on doing another one soon where I am going to talk a little bit about after the race. So I kind of did the morning of the race. Then this one was more Saturday, Sunday, what to do. And then I hope to do another one within the near future talking about things to do after the race. So don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe so you can get notified when that one is uploaded. And please, please, if you have any questions or specific things that you would like me to cover in future videos, I would love it if you would drop a comment below so I can be sure to include those in future videos. And just if you have any general thoughts or anything that I have forgotten, because I'm sure I have, because there's so much around Boston and so many amazing things, please include that in the comments as well. And I'll see you on the next one.